Hi, it's Natalia from Yes Art Marketing, and today I want to share something that I've never really said out loud before. Over the past few years, I've worked with hundreds of artists through my one-on-one sessions, my courses, and Yes Art Club, and I've seen some of them take off and build thriving, consistent art businesses, but I've also seen many others quietly disappear. It's really hard to see because often we have a great start, lots of enthusiasm, lots of ideas, but after some time people just drop what they were doing and no one gets to see them succeed. This happens for multiple reasons, including burnout, other life priorities, things happen, serious reasons that I completely respect. However, I have to say that also looking at the success stories of my students, unless someone is really sick or in a situation when they have to make sure that the rent and food is covered, this kind of quitting is completely preventable. And after studying over 100 of these cases, artists who had talent, motivation, potential, resources, and time, but still couldn't make it work, I've noticed very clear patterns. And today, I want to share those patterns with you, not to scare you, but to help you avoid them, to take a closer look at your case and, avoid the same fate. So let's start with the first one. Unclear definition of success. They never actually defined, they never decided what making it means for them. So many artists say, I just want to make a living with my art. But when I ask, okay, so what does that actually look like? They don't know. Allow me to make a comparison here. Imagine you're looking for a dress. You want to buy a dress, but you don't know which style for which occasion, which color suits you. You don't know anything about what you need. Chances are you will eventually figure it out, but after lots of time spent on mindless wandering from store to store, trying on dresses you don't want, you don't need, getting confused by different ideas, and salespeople recommending things. The most efficient way to buy a dress would be to know the occasion, the style, favorite brands, your color palette possibly, and look for specific things in specific places, right? And it's the same here. What's your idea of making it as an artist? Is it selling one piece a month, replacing your part-time job or full-time job, building a full-time business? Is it just selling art or also maybe teaching or launching other digital products, social media or galleries or both? Without that clarity, everything would feel like failure because you don't know your goal, you do random things for random reasons, and that leads to burnout, comparison, and inconsistency and confusion. And I'm not saying that every single artist who grew sustainably, who now today has a successful business, they had this clear definition of success from the start. But when you do have that definition from the start, you waste a lot less time and energy on stuff that you don't have to do, and you focus on your goals and you don't scatter your energy on doing things that you don't have to be doing. Second pattern, people stayed stuck in learning mode. They took courses, they watched tutorials, they saved tips, but they never actually implemented them long enough to see results. And I've had students like that. I do believe that learning the theory is essential before diving into practice, but practice without theory can still lead to some results, but theory without practice definitely won't. You can't find your style, grow your audience, get seen online or noticed by interior designers or galleries like that. You can't get anywhere by taking a course. You've got to use what you've learned at that course. And I say this with love. Sometimes we hide behind learning because action feels scarier. Perfectionism, overthinking kicks in. It might feel that you never have enough information, that you're never fully ready to take those first steps. You have to figure it out better, perfecter, but that's just overthinking. So at some point, you have to start doing. Posting art, writing emails, pitching your art to collaborators, setting up a shop, etc. I saw this again and again, that artists who stopped studying success and actually started experimenting with consistency, those were the ones who finally saw momentum. Pattern number 3 is treating social media like a lottery and not a tool. Posting and hoping for a viral reel isn't a strategy. Neither is disappearing for weeks after a few flops. Inconsistency is poison for your business. And I know it's not easy to keep showing up when your content doesn't, explode after you spend so much time making it. But that's just wrong expectations. Disciplined, systematic action gets you further than 1 or 2 viral reels. The artists who disappeared often believed that visibility was random, that they had no control over what happens. But the ones who stayed and grew saw it differently. Talk to artists who are successful on social media today and they will all tell you the same thing. Consistency and discipline, trying again and again. Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, these are just tools to test ideas, build trust and connect with real humans. Artists that have successful social media presence today, they showed up even when the results were small, because they understood that consistency teaches the algorithm about who you are, and it teaches you about who your audience is. And without that connection, it's really hard to see results. Pattern number 4, they avoided selling even when they said they wanted sales. This is such a big one. So many artists tell me, I don't want to sound pushy, or I'll start selling when I have a bigger following, when I'm ready, la la la. But the thing is, if you never practice selling when you have 200 followers, you won't magically know how to sell when you have 2,000 or 20,000. Selling isn't manipulation, it's communication. It's the way of passionately talking about what you do in a way that is interesting to people. And it's a skill. It's saying, here's what I made, and this is why it matters. Not just buy from me, buy from me, buy from me. Every successful artist I've seen got comfortable inviting people to buy long before they felt ready. And you know what? Everyone is scared. Everyone cringes, especially at the start. And it's not letting that stop you that matters. I know it's cliche, but it's true. You can't sell without selling. And number 5 is the one that actually hurts the most, is that they try to do everything alone. And it hurts because it's so preventable, and it's really personal to me, because when I was just starting to promote my art, to sell it, to figure out how to keep my business afloat, no one was there teaching marketing, and I didn't have a community yet, and I was surrounded by people who would say, oh, why don't you just get a job if this is so hard? And we all know that it's not the kind of support that we need so much. And today I know that artists who work in isolation, without feedback, without community, without a coach, without accountability, they burn out faster, because when you're alone, you sort of lose the connection to reality. You don't have realistic examples to guide you. You don't have anyone to talk to, and you end up under this enormous pressure that you actually put on yourself. When you're alone, every setback feels personal. And when you're in a community, when you have somebody there to guide you and to support you, you see that, first of all, that everyone struggles, and you get the perspective and motivation to keep going. And, well, you are kept accountable too. And that's actually one of the key reasons why I created my online marketing community for artists. It's called Yes Art Club, and my members keep saying how much it actually helps them keep going. And let me be honest, most artists who don't make it, they aren't failing because they lack talent or they're lazy or whatever. They're failing because they lose direction, they lose confidence, and then they lose momentum, and then they just quietly quit before, seeing things click. So if you are in that messy middle, when you've been trying for a while and results still feel unpredictable, you're not failing. You're just in a testing phase, and you don't have to go through this alone. If you recognize yourself in any of these patterns, come join us in Yes Art Club. It's my membership for artists who are ready to turn their art into real structured business with support, feedback, and monthly lessons and content ideas, and it will actually move you forward. You can find all the details in the description and in the pinned comment. And if you found this video helpful, please like it, subscribe, and let me know in the comments which one of these 5 mistakes do you think you've been stuck in the most. That's all for today. Keep creating, keep showing up, and remember that you can absolutely do this step by step, and I'm here for you.